The XFL has proposed a number of actual rule changes that are very interesting and very forward-thinking, and that could be actually, what would you say, revolutionary to the game of football. Some of these rules might be yoinked by the NFL. They're very cool.
I mean, like last time the XFL was here, while they didn't succeed, what they did succeed in was influencing how the NFL is today. Like,
yeah, they were very good at this.
Yeah, so they changed the game of football all the way up to the NFL. They affected the NFL with their changes. So if anything, if it fails again, their rules are going to affect the NFL once more. They're good at this kind of impact.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and name some of these cooler, some of the rules, and then we'll also go over the proposed overtime rule, which has been about the craziest thing I've ever personally read for an NFL style overtime or football. I
love the overtime.
Oh, dude, the overtime is the greatest thing in the world. All right, we're gonna we'll wait on we'll go over the overtime in a minute. So, a new rule proposal would add a new tap penalty imposed on individual players instead of entire teams. This is a very good rule that the NFL actually needs to have. Players who commit a foul which is not serious enough to warrant a penalty flag will be sent off the field for one play. Something like a holding, something like a tripping, something like just like something stupid, you know what I mean? Like a stupid pass interference. Or not pass interference, but like a personal foul, you know what I mean? Instead of it being assessed on the team, this penalty would then be assessed on the player. And the player would have to sit out a play, and they would have to bring in a substitution. Almost like hockey, you know what I mean? But it's not like hockey.
Yeah, except in hockey you don't get
but that's the only difference. It's unlike the power play. So that's one of the rules.
And you'll notice a theme whenever we go back to hockey, because this isn't the only rule that's kind of like hockey.
How about we do this one where we both comment on these simultaneously as we go over these rules, so that way we can get through this middle section a little bit more fluently, you know what I mean? This would be a good one to be more fluid with. What do you think of the tap penalty? What do you think? Is this
I think this is a really good rule that, yes, the NFL should do, because there are certain penalties that I understand that one player can affect the game, but like when it's something stupid and it does like a major change to a game, I just think it's really good. The NFL needs to pick it up. Other sports have it where you take out a player and not penalize the whole team. Why not the NFL? Why not football?
All right, so yeah,
like it's in baseball. It's in baseball. It's in hockey. It's in soccer. It's in every other sport.
Yeah, it's in every sport. They have tech fouls. You know, it's silly. But anyway, all right. So we both agree that that's a needed thing. Instant replay will be 30 seconds. That's whatever. The play clock will be 30 seconds. Whatever. Outside of the 2-minute drill, the clock will run continuously. I actually don't like that, to be honest. I really think that's a stupid rule. That's the only one where I'm like, I don't agree with running the clock continuously. I know they want to have strict 2-hour games in the AAF or in the XFL, but it's also along the lines of me looking at it going, no. But all right, but let's see. A proposal would require offensive linemen to not put their hand on the ground, outlawing the 3-point stance used at all other levels of the game. Anything you want to add with that one?
The 1 yard, I think it's like the 1 yard or whatever, neutral zone.
Oh yeah, let me read that one really quick.
Because it's connected to that.
Yeah, this is the league is testing the wider 1 yard neutral zone used by the CFL. Yeah, it's something. It's just a dumb thing. I don't agree with those rules. Those are silly. All players behind the line. This is the next big one. This is the one we need to talk about. Then we'll do the conversions, and then we'll do the overtime rules, because those are the big ones. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is the first of the big 3. This is one of the bigger 3 rule changes. All players behind the line of scrimmage will be eligible. Receivers, including those on the offensive line. Offensive linemen would still be prohibited from advancing downfield before a forward pass that crosses a line of scrimmage is in the air. You're like, wow, that's a weird distinction. Why would they have to say passing the line of scrimmage for a forward pass? It would just be a forward pass. You can't pass beyond the line of scrimmage. Well, in the XFL, you would be dead wrong. The XFL is testing the idea of allowing more than one forward pass to be thrown on any given play. So basically, say you throw a ball out to your wide receiver who's 20 yards downfield, and then he catches it, then he could turn around and throw it to the end zone if he has the arm to a wide open potential guy. So that is something the XFL is going to allow, or they want to allow it. Also, if you're in a tight situation and you need to get the ball out and you happen to see one of your linemen are just standing there, you can whip them the football as well. This is probably one of the strongest rules the XFL will have. I imagine the extra forward laterals will make their way into high school, college, and eventually the NFL. I think that is one of the best rules of this league, is the extra forward pass. The extra forward pass just opens up so much cool fucking offense. It's not even funny. Like, it's not even like as someone who really likes offense, the idea of them being able to do more forward passes downfield, I can't imagine football getting any cooler than that. What about you, Mania? Go ahead on your thoughts on this.
Okay, I like the idea of the offensive line being able to catch the ball, because honestly, I feel like anyone on the field should be able to catch the ball if you're throwing it. But I'm not so sure about the extra forward pass. That one, yes, I do like offense, but I feel like
to have
the
words mania.
I feel like the extra forward pass make things a bit too crazy and make get things too out of hand. It just
what do you mean too crazy? I don't like you sound like the people that didn't like the idea of the forward pass being allowed to be added into football when they start doing it. This makes it too much. This game is supposed to be a running game.
No.
You don't like it. You really just can't. You're just like, man, these scores are already.
I just don't see it. No, I just don't see it. Like, I like the deep passes. I like the offense. It's just I don't see the extra forward pass. Especially as a defensive player. I play defense mostly, and when I played football,
yeah, it requires you to play really good fucking defense, doesn't it? You better be good at man coverage, or guess what? You're about to get burned every single play. I love the fact that we're going to see some of the fastest paced offense, like with dudes with cannon arms playing receiver who can also run. So all these mobile quarterbacks all of a sudden are the most like valuable assets in a place like the XFL. Your Tuas, your Taysom Hills, the guys with, subpar arms, but they would be good if they could catch the ball and then launch it again. I love the idea of this. I can't believe you're not a big fan of it. Guys like Deshaun Watson would star with this kind of offense. Imagine getting him on the field, throwing him a ball 20 yards downfield, and then he turns around and whips it another 70 to fucking Hopkins. Who's wide open in the end zone. Yeah, wide open in the end zone. How can you not be a fan of this? It would make your offense unstoppable. Because Deshaun's a great athlete. I don't know.
He is a great athlete. It would help the Texans offense, and it would definitely help all these young mobile quarterback offenses going around. Like, it would help Patrick Mahomes' offense, and I think it would hurt your team's offense with your
hell no, dude. Brady be catching 50-yard bombs and then turning around and throwing it. Brady's got the greatest hands in all of sports. That ball was wildly overthrown in the Super Bowl.
No, he has butterfingers.
Ball didn't even touch his hands. What do you mean? It was that overthrown.
It did touch his fingers.
No,
he touched it.
No,
he did. He touched it. It was a good pass. It was in his. He had it in his hands and dropped it. He muffed the ball.
So tell me something here, Mania. You would think it would be unfair to defense if we allowed more forward passing because it would make it harder on them? You want more defense? You want more 13-3 Super Bowls? Is that what you want, Mania?
No, I don't want more 13-3 Super Bowls.
Okay, then I rest my case on this, that the forward pass is the best rule that the XFL might be bringing, because then it gets rid of any shot of a fucking 13-3 Super Bowl. Which is boring. That's what everyone wants. They want fast-paced, high-octane offenses, right? That's what all these new fans want. That's what everybody, new fast offenses, lots of scores. Defenses are irrelevant. That's my opinion. I don't know. That's my final word on that one.
All right, we'll see how it goes in the XFL. We'll see.
What's up? Let's see. All right, we're gonna go over the extra points now. The second of the big three rule changes inside of the XFL. The extra point kick will be the extra point. There will be no extra point kicks in the XFL, much like the AAF, but they have 3 different ways you can score. That is right. You can get up to a 7-point play, an 8-point play, or a 9-point play in one single touchdown. This is how this breaks down. You score a touchdown. If you choose to line up from 2 yards away and you score, that will be 1 single point. If you line up from 5 yards away and you score on the point, or and you get the ball in, that would be a 2-point attempt. So like, you go from 5 yards out, you get 2 points, and if you go from 10 yards out, you get 3 points. So a 2-yard attempt, a single point. A 5-yard attempt, 2 points, and a 10-yard attempt would be 3 points on the point after try. So you can either get 7, 8, or 9 points after you score a touchdown, depending on how you're feeling, depending on your ballsiness, depending on how good your offense is working that day. I think this is very forward-thinking, as most leagues are tired of the extra point kick. It's boring. It's outdated. To me, it's a no longer needed part of the NFL, any level of football. Kickers should really only be kicking field goals, and that's it. They shouldn't be doing kickoffs. That needs to go. I'm against kickoffs, fucking extra points. The only thing kickers are good for is punting and kicking field goals from far away. You know what I mean? Like game-winning field goals. We'll never get rid of that, and we'll never get rid of punters, because that's 4th down. You got to punt the ball. So, in my opinion, this is fine. This is a very cool thing. It's interesting to see how it'll work. I like the way the AAF did things, where it was what was it, just a 2-point
conversion all the time?
Yeah, you always had to do a 2-point conversion or not. This gives it some variation, where you could add a 3-point, a 2-point extra. It's pretty cool. It adds some extra elements of strategy and planning. I think this will make coaches have to coach a little better. It'll make players play harder after a touchdown, instead of just walking out and getting an easy point. I think that's good that we're finally tackling the extra point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do agree. I do really like this a lot, like even better than what the AF is doing, because it's more of a variety, and it's not you only have one option. You have different options. I don't think that this may get rid of the extra point field goal in the NFL. I really don't think they'll ever get rid of that. I'm not sure, but I do think it may give the NFL an idea to add a 3-point conversion type of play.